Hi guys, James here. Thank you for coming to watch, and today is just a very quick video to discuss a couple of issues I've had with Epiphone this year. So now Epiphone's having a big year in 2020, largely because they've decided to make some style changes which are massively to their benefit, to the customer's benefit, and I applaud them for that. I mean, I've owned Epiphone guitars in my past. I've had an SG, I had a double neck SG, I had a Les Paul. And, you know, frankly, for the price, I've always been impressed anyway. And I always understood the difference between Epiphone and Gibson, and that, you know, you're not going to get the same qualities. You're not going to get the same level of artistry and detail. And that ultimately the sound will be somewhat different, although not noticeable to everyone. And certainly I've always thought actually they're probably good gigging instruments. No one wants to cart around a $5 Les Paul custom or whatever, unless they've got some security to help them out, or they're certain it's not going to get stolen or whatever. And so I understand all of that, and I'm not asking too much of Epiphone, I don't think, to just make sure that whilst they are second tier instruments as such, that they still stand up as their own product. And I say that because this year I bought two Epiphones, this SG, and I bought the a BB King Lucille Epiphone. So that's the black sort of 335 but without the holes, and it's got the varitone switch. Now with both instruments I've ended up having issues that I'm not happy with, and so let me go to the most obvious one. The electric and the wiring on both has been bad. So on this one it actually sounds really great. And I'm quite happy with the sound of it. What I'm not happy with is that the bridge pickup just doesn't work. I've got the volume up full, everything up full. Now, I received the guitar a week ago, roughly, and the bridge pickup worked okay for the first day, and then it was intermittent. I made a video with this basically the day after I received it, and it was working fine in the morning then. After I uploaded the video, which actually hasn't gone out yet at this point, but I'll put it out after that. I'll put this out after that video. Basically it started working intermittently, and I noticed the volume was just not right, and then now it's just not working at all. So I can use the neck, I can use the middle. Weirdly, the tone on the bridge side is still working in the middle position, and you can't use the bridge if the volume is not working, if the volume's off on the bridge pickup. But once you go to the bridge pickup, there's no sound. So either I'm doing something terribly wrong, and I don't see what that could be, or there is another wiring issue here, which I also had with the BB King guitar that I ended up sending back. I was impressed. It was with GAK in the UK. I think that's Guitar Amp and Keyboard in Brighton. I bought the guitar from them. Firstly, when it arrived, the output jack just kept falling out. It was very loose, and then by about day 3 or 4 it just kept falling out. On top of that, it obviously was missing some sort of grounding. The hum off that thing was ridiculous, the noise. You would touch a piece of metal and it would be fine, but it was just like unplayable. And then yeah, so with that one, you know, the jack just kept falling out. I sent it back to GAK. They fixed that and sent it back, but it didn't fix the grounding issue. And so I had to send it back, and unfortunately they gave me a refund, which was really nice of them, and that was it. And this one is from Anderton's, and initially I was impressed with this guitar. I think it sounds really good when it's working. It has an overall good look and feel. It doesn't feel cheap or plasticky. It has a nice neck. It does have a couple of issues in the finish, which it turned up with, which I'll try and do a little close up and put over the top of this. not massive. That wouldn't, these cosmetic couple of little scuffs wouldn't cause me an issue. I wouldn't send it back for that. But when you send me a guitar and the electrics are off on an electric guitar, and it's the second time in a year I've had a problem with the same brand, I start to feel that there's something in the quality control missing. And let's not forget, Epiphone are doing a great job in general. They have a great variety of guitars. They fixed what was a less attractive headstock, made it look a bit better. And they're going in the right direction, I think, for sure, and a great option for so many people. But when it comes down to the finishing, I'm not asking for more detail in the guitar to make it feel exactly like a Gibson. You know, I think these are the choices they have to make for the price. More machine-made stuff, you know, slightly less expensive hardware. I mean, these tuners feel cheapy and sort of plasticky and don't look very nice, but that's okay. You're only paying $350 for this guitar instead of what, probably $1,200 for the Gibson version. But if I can't play the instrument, unfortunately, can't be happy with it, and that's 2 Epiphones in 1 year. So that's it really, just to be aware that generally I advise buying instruments in person at the shop, but obviously in this day and age with online shopping and with COVID-19 where we have to buy online, you know, just make sure you trust the shop, make sure they've got a good policy in terms of picking up, and so they're going to pick this up, they're going to fix it and send it back to me. So I'm not in any way suggesting that the retailer Andertons here in the UK is not doing its job. They are fantastic. It's just Epiphone themselves need a bit of more QC, basically, a bit more quality control, and then we could all be safe in the knowledge when we buy one of their guitars. So anyway, that's just a short sort of public service announcement from me. Epiphone doing a really good job, improving, but there is still, you need to be a bit cautious. And when you buy the guitar, test it out. Make sure that if it's not working, you test it out in the first week or two so you can send it back. Anyway, yeah, that's all for now. So please give this video a thumbs up and share it. Let people know to be careful with these guitars and to check the electrics when they receive the guitar. Otherwise, have a good day and see you on the next one.